1, 2, 3, here we go. Pogging it up. Since patch is tomorrow, that means Bangu needs to play 6.1 on Primal today, as per the last 20 times I've done this. This way MSQ is nice and fresh in my head tomorrow. It also means Primal's always behind, but it's fine. Let's patch these patches for the 5th time.
It's so much quieter these days without everyone around. Not that I'm pining for your return, you understand.
See you in a few patches when we all have to meet up for 7.
And every one of you is doing well and keeping busy with your
endeavors. Oh, we're all busy with our endeavors. Tatru, I'm going to the fucking void.
I'm left with a surplus of free time and the question of how to make the most of it. What about you?
Any plans for the immediate future? UCP is taking me to the void, so I've got that going for me. Look at me. I haven't played on Bone Boy in a while, huh? I'm going to the void. Because UCP said let's go.
Traveling to the edge of existence and back wasn't enough? Well, if that's the case, I might have a suggestion for you. You fought bravely and selflessly.
I unfortunately don't get to be a newfound adventurer for very long, huh? The void is just one giant adventure.
And a host of other incredible things. But why not put those titles aside for a while?
For a while. Bro, it's not even one patch.
Simple adventurer again. And travel the world in search of wonder.
In search of wonder, indeed. Wonder's gonna take... Who knows what mysteries are waiting to be discovered. Bro, we're going to the void!
Oh, that's the spirit. I can feel from here the blazing fire that just lit in your belly. Now, all you need is a destination. If you're having trouble deciding, just leave it to me.
Tantaru, for reasons, you need to go to Thavnir now.
Thavnir? That's where you should go next. I doubt you were able to squeeze in a proper tour of Radzatan the last time you were there. What with the burning skies and rampaging monsters and so forth. And I'm sure Vitra would be pleased to see you.
Little Guy Vitra will be upgraded to not Little Guy Vitra.
The Empire's presence in the region was always a deterrent to exploration. So if you've a mind to sail that sea, now's your chance. Just think of all the new experiences you could have.
The UTEP team. Think of all the places we haven't gone yet, and we're going to the void.
Tell me, have you been to the ruins beneath the waters of the Bounty?
We're all gonna do this because Emmett Selk told me so.
Azem's crystal. You may consider your duty to see at least that much.
Oh, I know that look. That's an adventurer ready to take on the world. In anticipation of an occasion like this, I was planning to gift you a new set of traveling clothes.
This is for everyone who demanded a new outfit for Amwalker.
Shouldn't take much longer now though, so sit tight and I'll have the last few bits sewn up before you can finish another cup of tea.
She'll have it ready before I take a nap. I mean after I take a nap.
Stitch in here and trim in there. Knot the threads with love and care. Just a little more to go. I'm sure you're still brimming with excitement. I am one with the needle. See how the fabric surrenders to my whims. Don't worry. I'll make sure the lining has plenty of pockets for all your little treasures. I swear, adventurers are
I
worse
still
than
like
children
this.
when
She
it
says
comes
it's
to
gonna
hoarding
have
every
pockets,
feather
but it
and
only
every
has like
animal
one.
hide they come
Because we don't have
across.
pants. Which I think was just a play on the fact that belts were removed.
Oh, we mustn't forget the waterproofing. Gods forbid you forget to disrobe before plunging into the sea, or a river, or a piping hot bath.
Look at that! A rendered in void, which means we're going there. But the real question is... who the fuck is this? And I mean, what's their name? That's my question for 6.2. My question for 6.2 is just varying degrees of who. Who are any of these people? Doesn't the void look nice? You found adventure for the 5th time, baby. Patches tomorrow, and I'm not ready. Anyway, nap time's over, Wall.
Ah, you're awake.
Got you trying to cross the border, did they? I am way taller than her, my god.
Apologies. I do get a little carried away with my sewing. You seem awfully cheerful. Pleasant dream? Or are you just looking forward to the next chapter of your grand saga?
I'm going to the void.
Either way, I
You're
promise
near
to provide you
Cowhey's
with more
home.
apparel, and so I shall. If you'll accompany me to the Diamond Forge, we can put the finishing touches on your outfit. Shall we?
The real question is, will I use this as a glam on this character? I don't know. I don't know yet. I like how the first quest for this patch is literally just Tataru cutscene and then it's done. High crafted Carolini's own. daughter is becoming the master of the economy. Oh no. She's also providing us a lore book because, wow, who knew after almost 9 years? When you think uploaded that, I forget the better part of the past decade, the devs. It's been almost 9 years worth of lore. Here you go. Let's go have fun with Stinian. After I get a professor drunk, right? And then this turns into Void Sun Adventures. God, this goes way, way different way than anyone probably could have respected. We get drinks and it's on the house. Let's get drunk and talk about the dungeon that will lead us to Voidsun Adventures. God, that's so weird. We just wanted to go treasure hunting. Like, who's this Reacher's little spot? It's just got a natural void fissure. Do people just not recognize that I am the badass warrior? Gee, wherever could this guy be if not with the giant MSQ marker on its head? And let's have fun with Estinian, because, you know. Fun times.
Please, Ashal, please! You must let me have that treasure map!
What's all this about?
My mother and father were slaughtered by monsters. My baby sister, still too young to fend for herself. Can you spare us no kindness?
So, you hope to find your fortune? And what? You expect me to surrender my wares for pity's sake? What have you to offer in payment? As I thought. Come back when you've more than rags to your name. This is no mere treasure map. It is a guide to the vaults of Arzadal III, one of the great satraps of Radzat Han, and a direct descendant of Alzadal Khan.
Where did he get it? Honestly, be real.
So he says.
He says he just found it lying around, but did he really?
This is no fake. The parchment is marked with an arcane glyph of passage. You may find the ruins hidden in the bounty, but you won't be setting foot inside without this in your possession.
You won't even get in with that in your possession either. This is a bamboozle.
Amongst the rubble in the aftermath of the final days, and lovingly restored by yours truly. This map is the key to fabulous riches, and I'll be the king of fools to simply give it away. Be glad I am no such king, boy. Your scrawny-eyed had never returned with that treasure alive.
Oh, cruel fate! Why must you tempt me with wealth I am powerless to claim? How I shall envy the one who purchases that precious map! Whatever they pay will be but pittance against the golden hoards they stand to uncover.
What of you, sir? Fighting man of your stature would surely relish the challenge of recovering Alzadal's lost fortune.
A fortune, you say?
If I had but the strength to seize that treasure, my starving sister would never want for food.
I'll take it. Will this cover the price? Well met, my friend.
Let's go treasure hunting that leads to void adventures, electric boogaloo.
Someone is dressed for adventure.
That line is so funny when you haven't changed your glam. Well, technically I suppose I have.
Places. Knowing you, I suspect there's more.
Because
to
I'm
your
wearing
plans than
Garo gear for
sightseeing
Reaper
and
now.
shopping. Ruins beneath the bounty. Curious. And here I've acquired a map to just such a site.
With that sale, I do believe I've earned the rest of the day off. Thank you for your patronage, sir, but if you'll excuse me.
You needn't mind us.
And now I fleece one of the heroes of the final days. Pray the sisters were looking elsewhere.
This map may or may not be genuine. Either way, we'll need a ship to find out for sure. Lest you misunderstand, I seek the treasure not for myself. If such a fortune truly exists, then it could help ease the struggles of those who lost their loved ones in the final days. I hope to do for Thavnir what you and Alphino did for the Alamegans when you recovered the Mad King's trove.
Was that a secret though?
Come now. You know Alphino needs little encouragement when it comes to...
And can I see the kids again?
Shared exploits. Speaking of precocious lads, that boy in the bazaar was clearly an accomplice of the merchant. Suppose his role was to draw the attention of the crowd and add weight to the merchant's bold claims. Transparent act for the most part. It was not all mummery. The need to provide for his sister rang true enough. Thus, if some portion of the profits end up in that waif's pockets, then I will consider it money well spent. Whether the map leads us to the vault or not.
Let's go treasure hunting.
You are coming along, yes? I thought as much. Now, let's see about securing a vessel.
Let's go treasure hunting that leads to the void. Isn't this fun and exciting? We need a boat so we can go have fun in what will soon become Voids and Adventures, because we're going to learn very fast where this game is going for patches. All the patches are MSQ Void now. I'm gonna try to sneak up on our two of the heroes of the final days. We're just 2 DPS, but we're the strongest 2 DPS, because we're wearing maiming gear, and that's strong. Gonna go grab Capway, but can we have the twins in MSQ? I kinda miss my kids. Now we gotta go grab Best Capway. I'm still just a Grahatia Stan, who's been inside all week, which is honestly a mood. Imagine having work to do and you just hunker down inside for like 4 days straight without ever going outside.
Ah, Urgica, my good man. Would you be so kind as to...
Oh, isn't this a pleasant surprise?
I wish you had sent word ahead. I thought I was having visions for a moment there.
Slow and steady. Raha and I have been compiling old records of the students' activities. We were able to locate several accounts in the archives of Numenon, but the bulk of our documents was lost along with the Isle of Fowl.
But what brings you to the Annex, my friend? Surely you haven't come all this way just to watch us shuffle dusty papers around?
What if that's what we did? What if we helped them out? I mean, honestly, papers, yeah, woo.
The
Come treasure
vault of
hunting
Alzadal
with me.
III.
And you're looking for companions to join you on this expedition.
It'll lead us to the void, and here comes the best Catboy scene.
I would dearly love to accompany you, of course, but I'm afraid I'm committed to another task.
Kyle, I need you to fight the
On the
fucking
subject
12.
of which I had hoped to ask for your assistance.
Look at him.
Then again, it's not so urgent that it can't wait until you've returned.
Look at that Catboy.
You should go, Raha. I'll stay here and mind the shop, as it were.
Are you sure? I'd hate to leave you short-handed.
I'm sure. Just try to be back before too many moons have passed.
Well, I guess we're off on another adventure already.
Can I have Catboy always be an MSQ? I know we can't, and he's... It's no one else is an MSQ probably for 6.2.
Then might I suggest we invite your Stola?
Since it's just the
Since
gang.
the Scions disbanded, she spent most of her time cloistered within the Great Gooble Library, hoping to piece together a method to traverse the rift. It would seem, however, that whatever wisdom she sought there was not to be found. She arrived in Charlian the other day. We spoke briefly before she began her search of Numenor. Considering what you've told us of Alzadal's extraordinary feats, I do believe your Stola would be more than interested to hear what you have to say. Splendid! Then let us head to the archives at once.
Wait, before you go. I have another potential member to volunteer.
Wait, we need to make sure Trust fits for this.
He sent the students a request for materials, you see. Treatises on the architecture of treasure vaults and the like. From what I can gather, the Loporrits are looking to make improvements to their own creation and wish to learn more about how we build things down here. So, why not take Urianger with you? Let him study Alzadal's legacy firsthand.
None can deny the benefit of seeing something with your own eyes. If our expedition leader has no objections, I say we extend Urianger an invitation once we've spoken with your Stola.
Let's have fun with my friends.
Safe travels, you two. But don't forget, I'd still like your help with that other matter I mentioned.
Right. Then it's off to the library.
It's nap time. It's always important you get sleep. I mean, it is midnight in Eorzean right now, so you know it's fine.
I've never known Y'shtola to doze off in the middle of research before.
We could all use a nap sometimes.
Close my eyes for one moment. Ow! Ugh. How long have you two been here?
And before Y'shtola tries to kill you twice this patch!
Did you now? I must have been studying for 2-3 days straight before exhaustion.
What is it with the Scions and not having these sleeping habits, though?
As you know, I've been researching ways to travel from the source to one of its reflections. Well, looking for hints at least. I don't expect to find a simple set of instructions tucked away in some dark corner of the library. So I've been skimming through the stacks, hoping to uncover even a partial mention of any similar feats in the past. A means to travel between worlds exists, and you can be sure I will.
The best I can do is the 13th.
So I promised Runar, but 'twould seem I've set myself a nigh impossible task.
You needn't be so hard on yourself. The leap I made with the Crystal Tower was not achieved in an afternoon. It was the culmination of a collective effort spanning generations.
Oh, you think me discouraged? I assure you, 'tis quite the opposite. A daunting challenge and the time to sink my teeth into it. I feel like a fresh-faced student again.
A scholar in her element.
Indeed. Was there something else you wish to ask of me?
Let's go to the Void, because that's what this all ends up being.
Alzadal is no minor figure in Harnish history, and much is known about his family. But this is the first I've heard of a descendant surviving a trip to another world.
It's just Vitra's treasure hoard.
True, then he may have left behind some clue as to how it was accomplished.
And Vitra was just vibing in the Void for a bit.
An invitation to delve into one of the world's lingering mysteries. As if I could refuse. And whence do we embark upon this expedition?
Achiali, by ship. But before that, we thought to extend an invitation to Urianger as well. He was in Thalmazane, last we heard.
Then by all means, let us recruit him, and be on our way.
But the real question is, who told the Loporits people like treasure maps? Because they do run XIV.
Ah, our illustrious champion.
I'm no champion, just a dude
Cloaked
chilling.
in the mantle of the common explorer, fame set aside in thy pursuit of simple adventure.
Simple adventure becomes the void.
I am told a
Bank
new
by Yoshi
expedition
P.
is in the offing.
We're just an adventurer. Also was goes to the fucking void.
And thee, as ever, thou art the picture of strength.
You've been keeping yourself busy, I trust?
True to our plan, Thancred and I embarked upon a pilgrimage of sorts, with an eye for gauging the state of those lands through which we passed. Our travels were interrupted, however, by a request for aid from our befurred lunar allies. As you may recall, the Loporits have been seeking new purpose for the moon, another role through which it might serve to benefit mankind. The Forum hath been working to advise them in this endeavor, but I return to offer mine own counsel.
And this has what to do with treasure vaults, exactly?
But who told them this?
Ah, you have learned of my predicament from Mistress Crime. I know not whence they acquired such knowledge, but the Loporits now stand convinced that adventurers delight in treasure hunts.
Who told them that? Why does everyone look at me?
Thus, with their newly built wonderland of riches and mystery, do they hope to entice all manner of daring delvers to the moon? So earnest and innocent was their desire to bring joy to the world that I found myself powerless to refuse them my cooperation. But what of you, my friends? Why are you come to Labyrinthos? Fascinating. This is indeed a most fortuitous opportunity. I should be honored to accept thine invitation.
Ah shit, I'm gonna have to use Ryanjay's healer. Realization. This is our light party. Except I'm probably gonna bring Estinian.
How long hath it been, I wonder, when last our actions were not impelled by fate or desperation?
To play patch because we don't have an immediate threat. Isn't it nice?
The world upon our shoulders for a change.
And we're going to immediately re-danger it.
Now, yes?
With our void thing.
Or perils await unwary feet. We may be wise to refrain from recruiting others.
I agree. Between us, we should have the skills to handle whatever situation
Inshallah, we have more than
may
enough for
arise.
trust, lol.
Shall we be on our way?
What, no time to spare a word for the grizzled old bard?
All is well, I trust?
A wasted trip, I'm afraid. I'd hoped to catch up with a former mentor while you parleyed with the rabbits, but it seems our paths were not to cross. That's because we didn't travel by experimental etherite. It's astounding what a lack of nausea does for one's sense of well-being. In any case, as we made our way around Ilzabard, we saw that much of the continent was in various stages of chaos. A certain amount of disorder is to be expected. The final days are over, and the people no longer have a common threat binding them together. That's the thing with these fledgling troubles, eh? You need to keep an eye out, lest they mature into full-grown headaches. So, for what reason have so many esteemed personages seemed fit to gather?
I'm going to the void, but that's for tomorrow. Ha ha ha.
Beneath the waters of the bounty, you say? I see you've already stolen away my traveling partner with the promise of unexplored ruins and scholarly glory.
Nay, 'tis not for mine own indulgence, but rather the fulfillment of my commitment to the Loporrits.
Ah, of course. And if you have a Stinian rounding out your group, you'll likely have all the members you need.
Feeling left out? I could put in a good word for you, if you like.
We may have been released from our obligations, but I'll never be free of that merciless wit of yours, will I? In all seriousness, 'tis best to sit this one out. Too many former scions consorting with one another might be seen as a cause for concern in certain quarters. I'll return to my usual reconnaissance and scout out the situation in the Far East. Feel free to share if you come across any interesting revelations.
Think there's a void fissure at the bottom of the ocean. That's what's up.
Shall we also hasten our departure? Sir Estinian will wonder what hath become of us.
There's a fucking void fissure under it. The ocean. We really do a 180, don't we? We go, oh yeah, it's just, it's treasure hunting, because, newfound adventure. And we really just go electric biggerly avoids that. It's an adventure of sorts. Let's dungeon it up. Let's go dungeon it up, shall we? Let's form trust so I can take my dear sweet time, and it's gonna be sorry I still has been yeeted from the party, but I would rather have teammate leave. Alright, we have to use Urianje's shitty healing, but hey, it's fine. Let's have fun. How do I play Reaper again? I haven't Reapered in a minute, so here we go. Charge for 30.
Together we shall overcome.
Alright. I'm gonna force Catboy to do a big pull. If I can get the anger of the next mob. See, this is why I fucking hate Urianji's healing. Sucks.
Hold still. Together we shall overcome this. You underestimate me.
That wasn't too bad. Just gotta remember how to play Reaper.
Hold still.
I'm sorry, how does Urianji dodge that mechanic? What did he do? That's not an Astro ability. Why does he get to yeet himself across the map? I missed which one was first. Pengu gets a 0 out of 0 for paying attention!
Together we shall overcome this. You're mine!
Everyone's at less than half health and he did not heal. See, this is why I hate Range's healing. He sucks. Anyway, it's time to go into the ocean.
Together we shall overcome this.
I don't ever trust myself on this pull. Not as DRK anyway. Fondly remembering doing this dungeon for the first time. God, it was so long ago now, huh? 4 months? Didn't know pulling the hallway would lead to multiple ads being spawned, and I was DRK, and DRK doesn't have fucking self-sustain at UCP.
Hold still.
Brazen thief, you will go no further. I forgot to use Soul Soul this entire time, huh? I haven't played Reaper in a while. I haven't. Me realizing I forgot to use Soul Salt. Me forget to use it again. I'm not a very good Reaper, am I?
Something special for you. Hold still. Hold still. Hold still. Hold still. Together we'll overcome. You're mine! Allow me. morsel for you.
That pull did not go at all according to plan. Crap, Catboy might die. I'm just working a day out. He's getting an AI workout here. I forgot to use soul slow this entire dungeon except for at the start, and I realized that every single time I just forgot to hit it. And it's right there.
Together we shall overcome this.
We're breaking Reacher stuff, but he won't mind, it's fine. LB is for losers. Easy peasy. That wasn't so bad. I haven't played Reaper in a while. I forgot to use Soul Select the entire dungeon, but you know, we won. Let's go have fun in the void. Time for a lore drop.
What have we here?
'Tis not unlike a Hunnish alchemical furnace in design.
Well, there is one way we might find out.
Stop! You mustn't touch it.
Vritra! Oh, my apologies. Should I continue calling you Varshan?
You may address me as you wish. My nature is no longer a secret.
Vitra, what the fuck y'all doing down here? Look, man.
Still, this is not a setting I imagined for our reunion. Surely you've not entered these ruins as common looters.
Would that we could deny your accusations, but I fear you're not far from the truth.
Great Vritra, might we beseech thee to explain the nature of this strange contrivance?
It was crafted by our alchemists at my behest, for the purpose of sealing something away.
Time for a lore drop, and I'm not making you stroll them out at me. We're going to the void, buddy.
Perhaps I should simply show you.
No, you should not.
I have lifted the seal, if only for the moment, by an authority only I possess.
A planar fissure?
No, my friend. Small though it may be, this is a functioning gate into the void.
Vitra's just gotta, void gate as you do. I swear to fucking God, if it tells me I have a support desk thing one more time. Old friends and old foes. CT, baby! C fucking T. God, they're the only two who've actually been to the void, huh? Please ignore that the support desk is flashing. I know what it is. And I already hit close issue multiple times. We're gonna find his Jaya. I think.
Admit,
I hope.
I am deathly curious to know how a void gate came to be hidden in the depths of these ruins.
To tell that tale, we must first peer far to the south, and even further into memory.
Stupid Alligans.
An age 5 millennia passed when the Algan Empire sent an invading force to the shores of Merasidia. The southern people rallied around the commanding figures of Bahamut and Tiamat and fought fiercely to repel the would-be conquerors. With Bahamut's defeat, however, the tide turned against them. Desperate to seize any advantage, the Mercidians
Oh baby, it's the Warring Triad.
primal entities. In response, Emperor Zande forged a covenant with the Cloud of Darkness, sovereign among the all-devouring denizens of the Void. Thus bolstered by icons on one side and Void Scent on the other, the two armies clashed in a battle of unspeakable carnage. So much death, so much loss.
Girl, I'm a nerd.
I consider myself well versed in that period of history, yet you speak as one who witnessed it happen.
Indeed, I did. I heard Tiamat's roar of defiance and sped toward that war-torn land. Along with my sibling, Ashdaya.
Incoming Dragon Lord.
Male or female, as men are wont to classify, but elder sister is the closest a mortal tongue can come to describing what she meant to me.
Don't worry, we're gonna find her, I think. I hope. I honestly, I don't know.
To hatch, and Ashdaya cared for me where my sire could not. Thus, I was with her when Tiamat rode. I was with her when she journeyed south, and I was with her when she fought against the Void-sent hordes. Yet no matter how many of their vile fiends we cast down, more rose from the abyss to take their place. Faced with an unwinnable war of attrition, Ashdaya risked her all on a final gamble. She plunged through the Void Gate itself to strike at the root of their strength. I tried to follow in her wake, determined to lend what aid I could. But even as I came upon Alag's glittering tower, I saw the rift close behind her. And Ashdaya has been lost to us ever since.
I find I must retract my earlier claim of historical knowledge. Nowhere in the Crystal Tower's archives did I see mention of such noble sacrifice.
That does not surprise me. To Allagan eyes, it must have seemed as if a lone dragon, driven to madness, simply dove through the gate and did not return. For my part, I spent long years searching for the means to reunite with Ashdaya.
We're gonna get around to it, I think. I don't know. I don't even know if the dragon's alive. I'm sure they are, but you know.
And the arts to open a void gate large enough to accommodate a dragon forever lost.
Yet you have the beginnings of a gate right here, under the control of a harnessed device.
My discovery came before Radzat was founded. Though I scoured the lands for a method to cross the rift, it was beneath the sea that I chanced to find a natural planar fissure.
How did he find it underwater? Real question, actually.
However, far too narrow to admit a worm's bulk. Only after our city rose upon the rock, and I could enlist the aid of our talented alchemists, did matters take a favorable turn. Their dedication was beyond reproach. Tirelessly they worked to expand the fissure, and after decades of toil, it finally grew to a size that a child might pass through.
Not long ago, you told us that you called out to your kin, but Ashdaya's answer was silence. I suspect the conclusion to your tale is not a joyful one.
Debate, is the dragon alive? In one hand, I'm gonna go with yeah, the other hand, no.
I used the simulacrum to cross the threshold. But no, I did not find her. What I found was a host of Voidsent, clamoring around the opening they had sensed. 'Twas but a moment, but enough. I had no choice but to retreat and allow the portal to contract once more.
The gate was a threat to your people. You had to decide between endangering Razathan and abandoning your sister. You chose the latter.
'Twas not that thy siblings scorned thy call. 'Twas that she was trapped beyond a barrier through which neither roar nor dragon may pass. Even now, in the desolate world of the 13th.
My son Unukalhai's home. It's a very nice place.
Imagine your pain, yet it was wise not to linger in that place. Too long a sojourn.
Gaha and I is the only two Voidsent dwellers. Or Void dwellers, because we've been there before.
You've seen this phenomenon before, when we stepped into the darkness.
Wasn't that fun? Because Nero was purple.
Turned purple? Well, yes. His wounds had allowed the void's corruption to enter his body and twist his ether.
What a fucking nerd.
Had it been allowed to progress much longer, I presume he would have been fully transformed.
Then there is little hope for Ashdaya.
Capway, hanging out in there leads to your doom.
I speak only of possibilities. The scales of the first brood are extraordinarily resistant to ethereal fluctuations. They are the protective talisman's core components, after all, and...
See, I'm torn between the dragon is alive and the dragon is not alive, because Jaya has been there, but is a dragon, so naturally etheric, you know, protection. On the other hand, it's been a few millennia.
Of course. With the warding scale in one's possession, one could conceivably survive a stay in the 13th without being warped by its energies.
How come the Voidsent haven't come out of this gate yet?
My sister, 5,000 years too late. And now countless others look to me for guidance and protection.
In my head, I'm just thinking of the FF4 battle theme too. Instead of head, I'm thinking of 6.2.
In the ruins, I came only to ensure that the gate remained closed. That, and to secure the treasure, of course. I wish only to forget the rest.
Quest accepted. Oopsies, we broke your stuff. We were a little murder hungry, right? Now it's time for Voidsent adventures. They're adding in an aetherite that goes next to this zone. But that's tomorrow because it's so annoying that this is the one spot of the map that doesn't have anything. Right, and I'm running into the wall. Who broke our stuff? Not me, I swear. So much I prefer a little door. That door is a fucking leads to nightmare. We just use CT. Look out to the 13th and fight the cloud of darkness. Cause I'm a Reaper. Shit, I forgot. She's like, yo, I know you. We know you're using a void scent. That's right, because we're Reaper. I'm a Reaper on Primal, because that means we have a void scent. So it's like, yeah, we know you have one, but yours is only helpful because it needs to be. Can I steal like a few gil, right? Because like no one will notice if like a few gold bars end up in my pocket, right? And if unfortunately Garha must go unlock this of the realm for us. And thus was it just us four, the gang of the void. But can I grab my son in a cowhide? You may now undertake mists of the realm. Anyway, time for a Four Fiends reference. I've now learned, of course, I've never played Final Fantasy IV, fun fact. Meanwhile, elsewhere. It's the Four Fiends, and I have their names somewhere. It's the Four Fiends. Who we throw hands with? Oh, I forgot which ones you throw hands with in the trailer. Oonga Boonga. Well, we fight him in 6.3. We need a trial fight. At me! It's time for Voids and Adventures. The good times. Everyone is fucking broke. Isn't that nice? Everyone is fucking broke. Woo! They don't have ships because they had to sell their ships. Also, sailors died. A real pity, huh? It's Operation Stop Being Broke, LOL.
Thank you for your attendance. The riches the Radiant Host have retrieved were hoarded in Al-Zadar's name. A fortune I set aside for a future day of need. And lo, that day hath come. Made aid our wounded city in reclaiming its vibrancy and vigor. In better times, I would leave such a task to our capable Ahawan. God's rest his soul. Finding myself bereft of his counsel in the here and now, I will assume the responsibilities of mine office directly. Firstly, the treasure shall be sold for more convenient currency. Thence, invested into the trading port of Yedlamar. Our merchants must have their operations restored, their ships rebuilt. Commerce must flow once more. None were spared the tragedy of the final days. Of this, I am well aware. But an absence was created by the loss of Kalzar's consortium. And by filling it, we provide new means for our fishermen, our artisans, and others to bring their wares to distant markets.
And what of the children who were left without family to care for them?
That is a concern which weigheth heavily upon my mind. The simple gift of coin will soon be exhausted, leaving these young souls adrift on the fringes of our society. Nay, a proper solution is needed, one which doth guarantee their welfare for years to come. Thou hast surely seen how other nations rise to meet this challenge, adventurer. What dost thou deem the wisest course?
Fuck them kids. I mean, I don't have the escort option because I don't have the side quest on any alt. My goodness.
Of course, we can draw on trading profits to build a new institution. Let us put this idea into practice. A contract shall be written, requiring all who receive of Al-Zadal's treasure to commit a portion of their future earnings towards the running of an orphanage. Now, such an influential policy is deserving of a worthy name. A fitting candidate. Kalzal should be remembered, not as the blasphemy which terrorized Thavne, but as a hard-working and generous man who brought much wealth to our shores. Do any among you object to this proposition? Many here lost loved ones to the beasts.
I lost my sanity. Does
In
that
time of
count?
strife, any one of us could have broken. Any one of us may have been taken by despair. When I think of Kalzal, I feel no hatred. Only a stinging regret that we could not save him as well. Isn't that right, men?
This bodes well for that boy. Murad, was it? Perhaps he can cut ties with that shady peddler.
Then let it be done. Henceforth, this initiative shall be known as the Kalzal Foundation. Neptune, thou art to assemble a patrol and ensure that no child in this city lives.
Think of the children, and then we're going back to Void Sun Adventures because yeah, baby. I love the Void.
Clerks, see to the management of our funds and make haste. Our citizens must not suffer a day more than is necessary.
Dragon and man, side by side in pursuit of a brighter morrow. Reminded of Ishgar.
Time for the Void. We protect the children, and now it's time to go back to Void Adventures. This will definitely not put anyone at risk, I'm sure, because we're just gonna go into the Void. Known for its... yeah, no. I can only call him the little guy Vitra for one more day, huh? Because he's bigger in the trailer. Let's go to the void! 'Cause that's where we're going next. Void Scent Life for my son Ukai. Let's get voidy, shall we? It's our Void Scent gang.
Right, here we all are.
You discovered something new.
I took a closer look at that device. I was able to determine how it keeps the void gate sealed, but not how it might instead be employed to expand the opening. For that, I would need to reference the technique developed by Vritra's alchemists, no records of which appear to have survived the intervening years.
Stinian bro.
So why have you sent for us? Have you learned aught of value or not?
Stinian bro, did you learn or not?
Patience, good sir. One must introduce the subject before launching into specifics. From what we understand, travel between worlds is accomplished by passing through the nebulous rift which exists between them. Picture, if you will, the moment you were called to the first.
It was space travel. Woo!
You touched a focus of some kind to help the Exarch pinpoint your location. His summoning spell then channeled the energies of the Crystal Tower to begin your journey to his world. The magics tore a hole in the walls separating source and shard, and cast you into the intervening nothingness. In that place, the laws of nature hold no sway.
It is a rift. Haha. Dare I say it, a void.
Yet even through this realm of temporal and spatial instability, you were borne safely to your destination in the first. The feat that guided you across such an unimaginable distance, both physical and metaphorical, was nothing short of a miracle.
Thank you, CT and Alexander and Omega.
Then what of the many void scent found in the source? Who guides them here, and how?
Let's get voidy. Let's get voidy.
Though there are several methods by which the void's denizens might intrude upon our world, the rituals of summoning are the most typical. For example, let us consider the gargoyle, a creature of middling power.
This is lore for anyone who doesn't remember this or hasn't figured it out by now, I suppose. Or maybe you've skipped everything with Void Scent.
To call upon such an entity, the prospective summoner must force open a void gate. The portal lasts but a moment and is relatively small, allowing only an imp or other lesser being to squeeze through with their physical body intact.
Look at this beautifully rendered in zone.
Our more powerful gargoyle, however, is too large for that. Creating a gate big enough for him would require vast amounts of energy, far beyond the reserves of any one mortal practitioner. Instead, 'tis far more common to bring over only the entity's soul. We had a taste of that ourselves when a certain exarch dragged us to the first. And just as our bodies remained in our world, the Void Sense physical form is left behind in the 13th. Once at its destination, the summoned soul is granted a temporary shell to inhabit. In the gargoyle's case, a stone effigy has proven a suitable vessel.
This is why all this stupid stone stuff tries to kill us in all the void dungeons! Divine dungeons with void sin in them.
Wait. You said that Voidsent must be called here deliberately by someone in the source.
I suppose we're teaching Estinian.
Exactly. For a being to navigate the chaos of the rift, with or without form, there must needs be a guiding agent on the other side.
When the hordes poured forth from Alag's Great Gate, it was the technologists who drew them through. Though to my knowledge, planar fissures are in essence natural passages between our world and the void, which require no such guidance to traverse. Why is only the boundary between the source and the 13th so fragile? So much so that it often tears open of its own accord.
Because the 13th is fucked.
Is key to understanding travel.
The 13th is fucked. And my poor son, I lost his him. Incia, don't worry, she's cool too.
No, the danger is too great.
Vita, no, I am not letting you go into the void. Well, can't stop us.
Perhaps, but what some call danger, others think of as adventure.
Let's do it, baby.
Were you not listening to my tale? Never mind that the means to expand the gate has been lost to the ages. If you force the portal wide enough, you would be greeted by an army of murderous horrors.
I look forward to fighting the Four Fiends tomorrow. Rubicante? I don't remember which one's first.
And I agree that to go alone would be certain death. But if I were to bring along one who has already braved the 13th and humbled the
They're not bothered by the fact I even beat Cloud. They're like, bro, whatever.
Would be much improved. Since when were you one for the quiet life?
Island Sanctuary tomorrow, baby.
Once again, I put my life in your ever-reliable hands.
We're going to the void.
As much as I would like to march straight back to the Void Gate, there is the small matter of being unable to open it without the Satrap's personal authority.
As I said before, I will grant you and yours any boon you choose to name, provided it does not endanger my people.
You have my word that we will take every precaution. Not a single void scent will be allowed to threaten Radzatan, assuming we manage to expand the portal in the first place.
You have a plan.
Actually, I had hoped you might help us with that. I presume the alchemists you retained supplied you with some explanation of their methodology.
That they did. House Daymir was overseeing the project.
How convenient.
Daymir. Ah, yes. The family associated with the great work.
They wrote a book and sent it to
I
Charlotte.
don't fully comprehend the theory, but their research began with a void scent which had slipped through the fissure. After a thorough examination, they created an arcane simulacrum possessed of similar qualities. A man-made void scent, if you will. It was apparently indispensable in their efforts to enlarge the gate.
A man-made voice.
Destinine's just here.
Being great admirers of the Archons, House Daymir submitted detailed notes to Charlene's official committee. They expected praise and accolades for their simulacrum, and were thus devastated to be informed that their work had been classified.
Makes me mid-voice and here you go. Isn't it pretty neat? No, it's prohibited.
If that's true, then those notes might still be stored in a forbidden archive somewhere. Not Google, of course, since that library had yet to be built. Which leaves us with...
everyone's favorite spot.
Yes, it may very well hold a copy. In which case, I say we head directly to Charleon.
Unless you anticipate needing help to reach the high shelf, I see myself being of little use. Go on ahead. Still need to find Mirad and tell him about the Kalzal Foundation.
Let's get voidy.
Let us be on our way as well.
V-chat, what the fuck?
They are resolved to venture into the void. Do I sit idly by?
Let's get permission to go to the forbidden... library, because at least we're going about it the right way, right? Points for effort? We're going to the void, baby! Let's go beg Mr. Fortuno for permission. I'm ready to throw hands with the four fiends, though. I am ready. I'm still just Battle Theme 2 in my head. Too bad it's not Battle with the Fiends. Lock on. Can I please borrow your forbidden library? It's important. She just got low blows on each of them, though. Surely you can understand where we're coming from. Fortuno will warm up to us one day. No, he won't. Loop run button. Let's get voidy. It's just some light restricted reading. Look at all these forbidden books.
If House Damia's notes are to be found anywhere, it will be here. Let us begin.
Don't worry, I know which one it is. But we could just peruse through all these books. Unfortunately, I know which one it is, and I don't need to read all the books again. It's this one. Forbidden knowledge.
Yes, the ether signature is unmistakable. I've felt the traces of House Damia's resonance many times at the Great Work. Time to see what all the fuss was about. Among the ranks of the Void Sent, there exist entities with the power to call forth their brethren from beyond. The species known as Atomos, however, is uniquely prodigious in this regard. From its distended maw, it can expel an endless procession of void-born creatures. A talent which sorely tested the Radiant Host in its battles against these abominations.
Stupid ad spawning mechanics.
Surmising that the entity itself was acting as a void gate, we endeavored to capture a small specimen and subsequently examine its physiological structure. Our findings revealed that the Atomos had absorbed a planar fissure into its own flesh, which it could expand at will into a functioning gate. Upon further analysis, we identified an ethereal wave pattern emitted during this process. A pattern we were able to emulate by passing crystal-stored ether through a specially designed prism. We proceeded to embed said prism into an arcane simulacrum, thus completing what we have dubbed our artificial atoms.
Imagine being that nerdy, though.
How could I have been so blind to the possibilities? This species, not to mention its ability to summon Void Sent, has been discussed among academics for years now. Just before the advent of the 7th Umbral Calamity, we received reports of Atomos sightings from every corner of Eorzea.
Good
Surely you've
times.
at least heard the tales.
That was also just the dev team memeing, but yeah.
And still, House Daemir went and built a mock Atomos of their very own. I'm not surprised the Archons consigned their work to a restricted archive. It was no easy task, but at last we've unearthed the volume we've been searching for.
Let's get voidy.
I'd be lying if I said I wasn't tempted to stay longer. See what other forbidden titles might be lurking on these shelves. Ah, but that would be abusing the very special privilege we've been granted now, wouldn't it? Better not.
But nobody would know if we just borrow some books. Let's get voidy. Oop, wrong lock on. Make a forbidden void scent. Hell yeah, bro! Forbidden knowledge. Time to go grab some water because from the water where you could spearfish and that one person died. Haha. Let's get void-y. Yeehaw! But why couldn't they take me with them on a free teleport? Let's get voidy, shall we?
The ruins alone were impressive enough, but I never dreamed such a treasure lay hidden in the depths of the bounty. It may have been helpful to know this device existed, Your Excellency.
My apologies. The gate was a secret I shared with none but my closest advisors.
If we told everyone we have a void gate here.
Those with ill intentions learn of its existence.
What is it you're doing now?
Let's get
Something I wish
science.
to verify. The NOAA reports claim that a short stint into the void carries little risk of etheric imbalance.
So long as you don't chill for too long.
Or if one's expedition drags on longer than intended, that risk becomes significantly greater.
Nero was purple and we nearly died.
Brown has theorized that a warding scale would confer protection from the void's corrupting influence. But I would prefer to test that
Obviously, this is all going to work out with the warding scale because the dungeon is literally the Fell Court of Troya, which is in the 13th.
Yes, an experiment. Tell me, how would you go about testing the efficacy of the warding scale?
Been there, done that, void quest. Ayo, my boy Unikal. We've done this before.
Very good.
Let me bring my boy back to his home.
As sent his simulacrum, so too shall we rely on a familiar to bear the brunt of any unpleasant consequences. Now, a lowly imp can navigate a fissure, no matter how narrow. Which means an arcane entity of similar stature should be able to manage the same. I hadn't wanted it to come to this, but no other familiars will do, I'm afraid.
If one uses their brain cell.
The sound of that. What manner of fiend does she mean to summon?
From ocean rise and cloudbank form, from mountain spring and rainfall storm, from river flow and life be born.
Water, water, froth and foam!
Ready your arms. I fear she's been possessed.
Damn, bro.
Oh, come now. That was adorable.
No, that was nice to meet you. What the fuck?
Though not my first choice. These familiars I conceived of as a child have the best chance of fitting through the gate. I only wish my younger self had considered a more dignified ending to the creation ritual. In any case, these two should serve us well. This one will bear a warding scale. And when they return from the 13th, we can observe how the talisman, or absence thereof, has affected the progress of the Void's corruption. If I could impose upon you to open the gate. Your Excellency?
Vicha, bro. What the fuck?
Yes, of course.
We should also be wary of void scent slipping through while we conduct our experiment. Estinian, you are to keep Nadana safe from harm.
I'm ready to throw hands with the 13th.
You had best be on your guard as well.
I'm ready, Chief. Put me in, Coach. I'm ready to throw hands. I'm not letting you Stola kill me.
And we are glad for it. Let us begin, shall we? Nixies, into the void.
Yeet. Ready arms, I fear she's been possessed.
I think we've waited long enough. Nixies, return to my side.
Man down. Or would it be Nixie down? Nixie down.
Thank you, little one. You did well.
The poor thing. Its essence has been irrevocably warped.
Time to not have the void scent. Sinister voice.
We're out of time. I must reseal the void gate.
Boop.
They're coming through.
In the name of Alzadal III, I bar this door unto the void.
And that, kids, is why you should never mess with the 13th. On today's safety lesson.
Well, that was a sharp lesson in the dangers of void gates.
And what of our experiment? I'd say the results speak for themselves.
The unprotected Nixie has suffered extensive etheric corruption. As Nidana observed, it's well on its way to becoming a void scent.
Woohoo, void
The
scent!
one merged with the talisman, however, appears unaffected. I sense no changes to its equilibrium. Rest now, little ones.
Graha's theory was correct then.
So it would seem. But while our second familiar was untouched by void energies, the talisman itself shows signs of degradation. It was, of course, originally designed to shield the soul from primal tempering. It stands to reason that etheric corruption of a different sort would affect it differently. We may need
Yay,
to
void
modify the
vibes.
warding scale's design to account for the 13th's uniquely unstable ether.
Permanent bad energies of the
You saw
void.
much of the void's instability, but my imagination fails me. What manner of place?
Estonian, bro, I'm the only one here without an education.
Ah, my apologies. I forget that not all of us spend our days sequestered in dusty archives.
It's not a very fun place.
The 13th is a reflection of the source that was drowned in a flood of darkness.
Oopsie
In
daisies.
Emersel's own words, this tragedy was a result of the Asians' attempts to force a rejoining. They erred in their haste, and made of that world a useless void.
It's my son Unokalhai's home.
You
Speak of
remember
Unokalhai.
Unokalhai, the unusual child we met during our troubles with the Warring Triad. He explained the fate of the 13th thus. The champions of that ill-fated world used a stone known as Aurosite to contain the power of primals. But those self-same heroes were gradually corrupted by the Aurosite's bleeding energies, transforming into fiends with an endless hunger for ether.
World of
By the
Darkness
time
theme,
anyone thought
lol.
to oppose them, Light's strength had grown too feeble, and the balance of the 13th tipped into eternal darkness. It was Elidibus, as I recall, who rescued Unokalhai's spirit from his final battlefield. But I wonder if there were others whom the emissary saved from oblivion.
Cough, cough. I did do white quest on here. Woof. For a moment I thought I didn't, but we're good. They're just chill.
The server, Ciela, wasn't it? And you say she was another of Elidibus's pawns?
They're just chilling, bro. They're just chilling.
I see. So Ciela, or rather Silva, was beguiled by the same dreams of heroism.
They both kind of failed to save the world, but also both didn't stand a
Out
chance.
of your own experience, will you tell us
The
what
void
you
is very
observed
voidy,
during
man.
this
Let's
expedition?
get voidy. There was Cerberus and a very evil eye that wiped so many runs, and
I can picture it now. The sunless, Stygian expanse, infested with legions of ether-starved monstrosities. A void in every sense of the word.
every 2 seconds something tries to kill you.
What you have described in such lurid detail is exactly why I hesitate to encourage you.
Creature, bro. What the heck?
Worry not, great Vritra. Our journey into the 13th is but the first leg of a longer voyage.
Woo!
A voyage that shall lead us to other reflections, to new mysteries and discoveries. And I mean to be there every step of the way.
I'm here for this Y'shtola arc, though.
But first, I must focus on refining the warding talisman.
Then I can begin work on constructing an artificial Atomos. Or I could if I had the relevant manuals to hand. Might I be so bold as to request access to the Satrap's family archives?
Beatrice having a moment.
Your Excellency?
Beatrice having a moment.
Oh, yes. That can be arranged. I will speak to my officials upon our return.
Let's get going. Let's get down to void business.
In the city, then.
Yeehaw! Let's finish off this patch, shall we? Justinian, I'm out, but I will actually be in later. At least this is a free teleport, right? Woo! They give us one freebie there, but they won't give the freebie back. Sid always has a moment for us. Fix my warding scale and see you tomorrow. Sid, remember how we went to the 13th? We're going back, baby! See you tomorrow because it'll be ready tomorrow, haha. Well, not Primal tomorrow. Primal doesn't get to play 6.2 until 6.3 is almost out. That's just the way it goes. Primal gets left behind.
Hey, Stola. The adjustments are going well, I hope?
'Tis a lengthy process, But the end is in sight, yes.
That's wonderful news. I myself had some good fortune searching through the Satrap's private records. What I found was a transaction log dated around the same period as when Al-Zadal's legacy was built. It included a purchase list of highly exclusive alchemical components, and I knew I'd discovered the key to making the artificial atomos. I then visited the High Crucible to commission the materials. After I'd explained my requirements, I was beset by volunteers insisting I allow them to help with the entire project.
The usual reaction to someone forcing open a void gate is to run for the hills. Harnish academics certainly are a different breed.
The alchemists of old were cut from a similar cloth. The unknown held no fear for them. Indeed, they were ever eager to seek new knowledge, regardless of the danger.
And were you not also fearless, heedless even, in your determination?
My sire entered his dormancy before I was hatched. And so it was Ashdaya who kept my eggs safe and warm. It created a bond between us. Even long after I learned to fend for myself, I rarely strayed from her side.
Sibling bond, though.
My sister, my dear companion. And not a single day passes that I do not mourn her absence. No matter how deep the darkness, I would not surrender my search. I promised myself the time would come when we would once more take to the skies together. But I am satrap now.
When you have a
Radiant
job.
Host is here to serve, Your Excellency.
Nabdeen, what is this about?
Celestinian told us of your predicament. For centuries you have protected Rads at Han, never showing your true self, hiding behind a curtain and living only in service to the people. Your dedication meant more to us than your deceit, and so did we accept you as our rightful ruler. After all that you have sacrificed for this nation, did you imagine we would begrudge you your heart's desire? We survived.
He's just
the
a little
final
guy.
days. We are a strong and proud people. We, the Radiant Host, will keep Thavnair safe in your absence.
I am grateful for your loyalty and for your encouragement. And yet...
Now you listen to me, Varshan. You are wearing that face, after all. As I have told you before, you are a little brother to us all. And if you are family, then so too is your sister.
But is the dragon alive? Is Ashaya alive?
We are there for you if you need us. But do not ask us to sit by and watch while you abandon a sibling you have ached to rescue for millennia.
Let's go into the void and get voidy. LOL.
We will succeed in opening the way. It is only a matter of time. All you need do is prepare to step through to the other side.
Like tomorrow. Oh god, tomorrow's patch.
Your Excellency, I wanted to thank you for building the orphanage. It means so much that my sister and I will have a place to be together, safe and happy. And I hope that you and your sister can meet
I am
together
torn
again.
on the Shia is alive and not alive. On it, probably because they're gonna set up a reunion that'll somehow break my heart. On the other hand, it doesn't really make sense. It's been 5,000 years.
Take heart and protect them well. Such were the words I once said to you. And here I stand, failing to live up to them. If my heart is torn, I am fit to protect neither Ajdaya nor Radzidhan. My people, I have come to a decision. Vashan will depart Thavne for a time. My dragon self will remain in the palace, but only to conduct the satrap's most essential duties.
Let's get
While I am
voidy!
focused on controlling this vessel, there may be matters that escape my attention. I rely on you, my trusted friends, to watch over one another until I return.
Yeehaw!
Take care and fair fortune, little brother. Many tears would be shed should you come to harm.
Now he's gonna get tall because he needs to be tall for trust.
I would not dare make you cry.
Let's get voidy. Woo! Tomorrow. I'm not ready. Yeehaw! It's the Warrior of Light. It's an Archon. Lance Boy and Little Guy. Except Vitra doesn't get to be little dude forever. A real pity. We did it! We made it to the end of patch! So now am I ready for patch tomorrow? The answer is no, of course I'm not. What kind of question is that? Am I ever ready to move on? No. Let's finish this epic time we're going to have here. Yeehaw! I can't wait till we get to like closer to 7.0 where we have to tell our friends. Oh yeah, by the way, we've been fucking around in the void. Let's get, look at this. What an awkward... And who's the fucking Reaper that's in the trailer? Let's get it. Let's get voidy. My friends shall go to their respective jobs till tomorrow. 'Cause tomorrow's patch day. Ha 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 ha! This is not an adventure. Going to my boy Uno Calhai's home. But this time for fun. Quest complete. Now, the real question is, meanwhile in the 13th, who the fuck is this? What's their name? Obviously it's the Void Scent, but what the fuck is their name and what are they doing in 6.2? Because we face off against them. We stood there. At least it's not Xenos, because he's dead. God, this is gonna be so awkward playing this as Reaper. The Pasto walked adventure spur pulls this quickened spirit stir. Time for Void Scent Adventures starting tomorrow because patch, baby! Alright, Primal's been caught up, now he gets to go back to the pit of not being played, unfortunately for that. All in all, I'm actually really excited for patch tomorrow. If only a little terrified of every imaginable thing that's going to go down. But that's for tomorrow.